Setting up a blog is the perfect example to understand how Astro and Content Island works. It's a simple project, but with enough to experiment with routes, dynamic content, and a bit of interactivity. Moreover, having your own blog is never a bad idea, especially if you want something lightweight, without ads you can't control, and fully customizable. We're going to implement a simple seed, a page with a list of posts, another with the details of each post, and an About Us page, because it's always good to introduce yourself. One option to develop this would be to rely on plain HTML and CSS. But of course we want this blog to be dynamic. I don't want to be stuck dealing with HTML every time I want to update my bio, fix a mistake, or add a new post. In fact, I would like even someone who doesn't know how to program or design to be able to add new posts or modify the relevant data. But of course, I want the best of both worlds. On one hand, the speed and simplicity of having static HTML and CSS. And on the other hand, the ability to modify the data easily. What can I do? Well, I can define a model for my application in Content Island, enter the data, and using a technology like Astro, generate a static site and update it whenever there is a change in the information on Content Island. Let's start creating the project from scratch. Once we have created our account on Content Island and logged in, depending on your role, you will either see a window where you can choose. Among the projects you have access to, or the option to edit users, we choose projects, or you may directly see the list of projects. If this is your first time entering, it will be empty. We click on Add Project. A general tab appears where we need to give the project a name. We type My Blocken, and when we click Save, it asks us to generate an API token. This will be what we use to consume the data from our project in Astro. We click on Generate Token and we can see it. We will copy this into the code later, as we will see. We also need to choose the languages that our project will support. In this case, we choose English, and we could select more languages. Content Island supports multiple languages. We click Save. Now 3 tabs are enabled. The Model tab, where we will define the entities of our project. The Content tab, where we will enter the data for our project. And the Webhooks tab, where we can define actions that will be executed when an event occurs in our project. In the next step, we will define the entities of our blog project.